All right. Hey, everyone. We are live in virtual reality. We are in
Yes.
Facebook Spaces, and I am here with Rachel, who runs the social virtual reality team at Facebook.
Yep. Hi, everybody.
And we're live in virtual reality on the roof of Facebook's building. So here I can grab this and kind of show around here. This is the roof of this is the roof of
Right?
of MPK Building 20. This is the main building. This is actually the building that we're in right now. All right, so this is a big week for virtual reality. We have Oculus Connect 4 coming up on Wednesday, where we're going to announce some stuff that I'm not going to announce now because it would be good to tune in on Wednesday and go through that.
Yeah.
But even before we do that, one of the things that I've found that I thought was really neat, just watching how people have used virtual reality in the last year, is a lot of people are using Spaces, this tool that you and your team have built to do interviews and Q&As in VR, and to go places that it wouldn't be possible to necessarily go, or definitely would be a lot harder to go in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, go for it.
We've seen people using it in all kinds of really cool ways. To like, Wyclef Jean was interviewed by Slate the other day, and they took him to Haiti and showed him around. It was just amazing. So really cool stuff that people are doing to go different places.
Yeah, so I think the first place that we want to go today is Puerto Rico to check out this interesting 360 video that NPR took of what's going on down there. So let's go quickly teleport there. All right, so now we are in a 360 video in Puerto Rico, and hold on a second, and you can kind of get a sense of we're on a bridge here. It's flooded. You can get a sense of some of the damage here that the hurricanes have done. And this is one of the things that's really magical about virtual reality, is you can get the feeling that you're really in a place, right? I probably should have mentioned this before, but Rachel and I actually aren't even, I think, in the same building in the physical world here.
We're in totally different places.
We're here. It feels like we're in the same place and we're making eye contact. We're talking to each other.
High five.
Yeah, there you go. High five. And so now, this is we're looking around, and it feels like we're really here in Puerto Rico, where it's it's obviously a tough place to get to now, and a lot of people are really suffering with the aftermath of the hurricanes. This is an area that Facebook is very focused on trying to help out in the recovery effort. When the hurricanes first hit, we did a bunch of work around launching Safety Check to make it so that people in the community could tell all their friends and loved ones that they were safe. We activated community help, so that way people could say they needed food or shelter, and people in the community could provide that if they had that. We ran a bunch of fundraisers to help raise money for the relief efforts. But on top of that, we also did a bunch of work ourselves in terms of sending Facebook employees down to Puerto Rico to help with connectivity, right? Because when you're in the middle of a disaster like this, it's really important that people have access to the internet. It's important both so that people can connect with their friends and their family outside of the disaster zone, to tell them that they're okay or tell them what's going on. But it's also important so that way when relief workers go down there, they could coordinate with each other and know where people need help. So today we're actually announcing a new effort that we've been working on with the Red Cross to help out in Puerto Rico, which is we use artificial intelligence to build what we call these population maps. So you can look at satellite imagery of an area and get a sense of where it is that people actually live and the density of different places and where there's infrastructure going to those places. And that's going to help the Red Cross figure out where people are who need help and figure out how to connect them and get the relief people connected with the people who need help down there to help out with rebuilding and all the efforts that are going on. So this is something that we've we've tried to do a couple of times in the past, but this is a good example of how you can use AI and machine learning to help out in saving people's lives and help out in relief efforts like what we're trying to do with the Red Cross here. But, there's so much more that's needed to help out in Puerto Rico right now. Facebook has donated more than $1.5 million to the relief effort already, in addition to the other efforts that I mentioned a second ago. And there's a lot more that needs to happen. So this is an area that we're continuing to focus on.
Yeah, great. Well,
all right.
You can see that we can really feel like we're here, but
this street is just completely flooded.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this behind me? This is what it looks like down
It's crazy
here.
to feel like you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So do you want to go teleport somewhere else?
Yeah, maybe back to California.
All right, let's do it. Let's go check out where we're going to be for OC4 later this week.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we have OC4 coming up. So here, I'll take you to. This is last year's stage at OC3.
Let's get rid of this transport order.
Yeah. And so you guys are seeing the curtain, but maybe we can move it around so that you guys can see. Yeah, we'll flip the camera.
Oh yeah.
They can see the audience.
There
That's the audience from last year.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah, this is basically what I saw from the stage last year when we were doing OC3, Oculus Connect. Actually, last year at OC3 was the first time that we demoed Facebook Spaces. And I basically got on stage and live and in front of everyone did this live demo in VR. That was fairly scary, but it worked out pretty well. But basically, this is the stage. We're on the stage here. And yeah, this was fun. I'm looking forward to being with everyone in the community again later this week. We have some pretty fun and big announcements that we're excited about that I can't wait to share with you on Wednesday. Before going too much into that, do you want to? I don't know if there's anything more on OC4 that you wanted to touch on.
Well, we have lots of amazing speakers. We have tons of great announcements, like you said. It'll just be a really great time for people in VR to come learn about what we're up to, and we're excited to be there.
You're going to be speaking?
It's great to meet everybody. I will be speaking.
You're going to give an update on all of the social VR efforts that we're doing?
I will.
A lot of work here. I don't know. For those of you guys who have only seen this, for those of you guys who've only maybe seen Facebook Spaces from some of the demos that we've done in the past, we've just been consistently adding features to this, and it's just getting more and more polished and better over time. And you got a lot more interesting stuff coming on that front on Wednesday as well.
In fact, one of the things we added was being able to go live, which is why we're able to do
true.
this. So it was very cool. But
all right.
so
you want to go to the moon?
Yeah, I do actually, because I wanted to be an astronaut when I was little. But didn't manage to be able to fly anything, and I was thinking, okay, VR is pretty amazing because people plan how many years to be able to go to space, but we could just get there instantly. So here we are on the moon, staring at the Milky Way. It's absolutely lovely and just kind of cool to be able to go places you can't go, right? And be able to be there with friends. That's exciting.
Yeah, no, this is a pretty crazy view out here.
It is a pretty crazy view. We got.
One of the big themes that we talk about for VR all the time is that, these days it's it's a lot easier to be able to move bits around than atoms, right? It's a lot easier for us to bring some of these experiences to us than it is to build a lot of the transportation technology to take people to different places. And there are all these different things in all of our realities that we can't experience, right? Whether they're people that we want to see, but it's hard for us to physically be there with them, or things that we can't do.
Yep.
And going to space is something that I think a lot of people dream about. And unless something really dramatically changes about the economics, about how that works, most of us aren't going. All right. We are back live in virtual reality from the moon. Our video cut out for a second. This has to be by far the biggest live that we have ever done in virtual reality.
Oh yeah.
So we
Absolutely.
have. There are tens of thousands of people watching live here. So this
definitely
is
testing testing
so
the
we're
system here.
currently testing all the boundaries of all the stuff that you and your team have worked on. Let's wait for a few minutes until everyone gets a chance to pop back in here, and then maybe we'll take some questions from folks watching live, and then maybe we can head back to Earth in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Let's see. We have.
So you can even take Beast to space.
Yeah, I brought Beast to the moon with us.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could take a selfie. You want to take a quick selfie in space?
Sure, yeah. I mean, here, so I'm looking off to the side here. This is where I see all the comments that are coming in on the live stream. All right, let's see.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what... The comments are coming in very quickly, so it's somewhat hard to... So someone just asked, when will this be available? This is already available.
It is.
You can use Facebook Spaces on Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift and Touch. So we have our hand controllers, and it's available now. It's live and out there, and we would love for you to use it and check it out. We're still beta, so things are happening, but it's absolutely available and free to anybody with a Rift and Touch.
Arthur, there we go. Where are your legs?
Where are your legs?
Maybe in a couple of years we'll have legs in virtual reality. But honestly, it was a pretty big deal just to get the hands working, right? Because I mean, when you think about making it so that presence works, right? You want to be able to. The technical challenges in virtual reality are pretty immense, right? So basically, think about what's happening. I have this headset on. I'm turning my head around, and as that's happening, faster than my eyes can kind of refresh, the computer has to be able to render what the scene is at exactly the angle and the perspective from how I'm looking at it. So that has to work. And then, what my motion has to get taken over the internet to Rachel's computer. So that way, as she's, before kind of her eyes and her brain can refresh, all that the update in the motion has to be able to render. And then you need to now make that work not just for our heads and our faces, but our hands, and have that work over the internet so that there could be multiple of us together. I mean, it's just a really intense technology problem. So the hands are really important to the whole thing, because you want to be able to interact with the world, right? I want to be able to pick up Beast and then put him back on the table, and it would be harder to do that with my head. Okay, I guess in theory we could do this. But all right, let's take a look at what some of these other comments are.
And maybe just give a heads up to the people that just joined. We're in Facebook Spaces, which is an application in VR for Rift and Touch, for Oculus Rift and Touch. And so Mark and I are actually in completely different locations, but we are actually here together because virtual reality is letting us hang out.
All right. The comments are coming back pretty quickly here. A lot of people are just like, this is amazing. This is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
All right, what else do you think are... Here. I like this one. If you can do this in your underwear, can your avatar be fully clothed so no one knows you're talking to them in your underwear? I guess. I guess that is.
You can wear whatever you want in VR, right? Yeah. Especially when there's no legs.
All right. The comments are coming in pretty quickly, so it's a little hard to manage that. If you see anyone any comment, it's also, I'm kind of looking off to the side here. Drew.
Oh, do you hold meetings? Yeah, that's a great one.
Drew rolling off here. Do you hold meetings in spaces yet, and do you find them to be better than just plain video chat? We do. I mean, the Facebook Spaces team. I mean, you can speak to this. I mean, you guys have a weekly meeting in VR.
We do,
right? And that's
we absolutely do,
because you're in all different offices, right? So it's much easier than getting on a plane, right, or driving to each other, and it's better than video chat.
And I'll tell you the difference is that we can actually pull up images. We can show each other like potential designs for our project. We can draw things with a marker, in different designs, as well as talk to each other and feel like we're actually there, which gives a really nice level of presence when you're wanting to be next to your teammates and they're not there. So yeah, it gives us a lot of tools to be able to design and draw and communicate that video conferencing can't. So we love it. We like connecting up and having our meetings in spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that we've heard a lot of is that being in spaces and in VR overall gets a lot better when there's multiple people together. So if it's two people and you're just talking and you're not interacting with anything, then I mean, video chat isn't bad for that. But when you have multiple people and you want to be able to see who's looking at who and who's talking to who, I mean, we've all been on video chats with, 4 or 5 people, and it's just kind of really hard to know who's talking and have a nice flow to the conversation because, eye contact and presence and body language and gestures are really important to how those conversations work. So that part is really key. The other thing that works really well in VR, much better than in video chat, is when you're actually doing work together. So, I've seen in some of the stuff that you've done, it's you pull out a whiteboard and you're hosting a meeting and you're editing stuff together, and that's not the kind of thing that you do over video conference either. So video is very good for giving a feeling of lightweight presence across distances easily. But when you really want to get into really feeling like you're there with someone else, VR is just much stronger.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that. We can get a lot done.
All right, what else? Okay. Is there anything else that we wanted to show here? What do you think?
Just if you wanted to show Beast Supergiant.
Yeah, go for it.
That's cool video.
All right.
All right, back to Earth. You ready?
Yeah, let's do
it. This is one of my favorites. I don't think they can see it yet.
So this one is here, let's move this.
We gotta let you guys see this.
There we go. That's Beast. Whoops. This is
so for us.
This is a 360 video that we took. This is in my living room in my home, but you can tell it's from the perspective of we're tiny and Beast is huge. So the idea is that this is the world as Beast sees it, right? I mean, you can see kind of the couch, and he's a pretty small dog. He's a 30-pound dog, although more than 30 pounds of cute. And we're kind of tiny. So here, let's you gotta put in perspective here. I mean, you got me and Beast here at the same time. What's up, buddy?
Exactly.
All right.
Super fun.
Okay, I think that's enough for this live. What do you think?
Yep.
We will see you all on Wednesday for OC4, Oculus Connect 4.
Definitely.
We got a lot of awesome announcements. I'm talking about a lot of the different virtual reality work that we've done, and a lot of work that the community has done. There's an awesome, really passionate, dedicated community around virtual reality who's really making it happen, who's pushing a lot of the progress here. And I just think that this is one of the most exciting spaces for the future of social interaction, because we can really, you can go to a different place, you can really feel like you're there, you can be with people and feel like you're right there with them, and it's just really exciting. And we're excited to be working with the community on this. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you Wednesday at OC4. All right, see ya.
See you soon.